let's get into the story here. President Trump just comes out earlier this morning, matter of fact, a few minutes ago, saying that the shooter, his father, encouraged him to go turn himself in. Here's President Trump.
Essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way, and the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister, and brought him to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, and the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So you have breaking news, don't you? Huh?
Thank you.
Always have.
So while this is happening, yesterday we were told, Kash Patel tweeted us, and we have the subject, and they released the guy. At first we were told it was that old man saying, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. Rob, if you have that clip of the man saying that, and everyone's like, oh, my God, it's this guy. We got him. And apparently it's not him, right? So now they're saying they have him. You heard, obviously, the president saying he thinks. They told him 5 minutes ago. So we may not even know the whole story. But, Rob, go ahead and play this clip.
Shoot me. Shoot me. Was that you? We don't know if it's him or not.
Who would say shoot me?
Who would say that?
Who would say shoot me?
A troubled
Patsy?
guy who is there to be part of a counter-protest. It seems like a troubled guy. You know?
So you have that going on. You had J.D. Vance yesterday when they are moving his casket. J.D. Vance is there taking him on Air Force Two. Go ahead, Rob. So you can imagine when this is taking place. President Trump speaks with Charlie Kirk's wife. Rob, I think you have a clip on that as well, saying, you know, how totally devastated she is. Can you imagine what Erica's going through right now with 2 kids? At 31 years old, her husband is gone. Okay, those kids are going to, for the rest of their lives, hey, who's your father? Charlie Kirk, my dad's no longer here. Why? You're going to have to try to explain that to yourself on why that took place. I can only imagine the pain she is going through. Our prayers are with her and her family. But at the same time, while this is going on, you see the opposing side. Here's what some had to say on this event. Don Jr., when it happened, I love you, brother. You gave so many people the courage to speak up and will never be silenced. RFK Jr., once again, a bullet has silenced the most eloquent truth teller of an era. My dear friend Charlie Kirk was our country's relentless and courageous crusader for free speech. We pray for Erica and the children. Charlie is already in paradise with the angels. We ask his prayers for our country. Netanyahu commented on it. Charlie Kirk was murdered for speaking the truth and defending freedom. Milei, the world has lost an incredible human being. President Trump, the great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. Greg Abbott, Charlie's voice was a beacon for millions of young Americans searching for the truth, courage, and conviction. Megyn Kelly, we have lost one of the most important voices that we've had in our lifetime. And this continues going on. By the way, on the opposing side, people may be on the other side. Here's what Pritzker had to say. President's rhetoric often foments violence. The Democratic Senator Murphy, Trump has to answer for creating pessimismness for violence. Left has done that too. Joe Biden, there's no place in our country for this kind of violence. Barack Obama, we don't yet know what motivated the person who shot and killed Charlie Kirk, but this kind of despicable violence has no place in our democracy. Kamala Harris, I'm deeply disturbed by the shooting in Utah. And this goes on. And then you have some that if you watch these, Rob, I don't know if you have the Ilhan Omar clip with Mehdi Hassan. You may want to watch this, folks. I'm just telling you, it's going to upset you a little bit. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob.
What I do know for sure is that, Charlie was someone who once said, guns save lives after a school shooting. Charlie was someone who was willing to debate and downplay the death of George Floyd in the hands of Minneapolis police.
I think he called him a scumbag.
Right, have no regard, downplay slavery and what Black people have gone through in this country by saying Juneteenth should never exist. And I think, there are a lot of people who are out there talking about him just wanting to have a civil debate.
Complete rewriting of history.
Yeah, there is nothing more effed up, than to completely pretend that his words and actions have not been recorded and in existence for the last decade or so. And
can I just say one thing about these two people? Here, this is why you gotta love America and also feel very uneasy about America. Here are two people who are not born in America, who fundamentally want to change America, who hate what America is actually even founded on. And because of who we are as a country, they have the ability to say, no. We want to reinvent America and what it is today. The disrespect that they can't even acknowledge that a man was assassinated. And immediately they go to, well, he said this, almost like he had it coming. Only in America, two people that we've brought in from another side of the world, from Somalia and I believe the UK, I want to say, to come in and criticize the foundation of America, only in America.
Yeah, and by the way, Vinny, your thoughts when you hear Ilhan Omar, how do you process this?
Man, you want to talk about what makes me be an angry patriot? Is because of stuff like that. The tone deaf, like you in a moment where somebody was literally shot, murdered, assassinated. And I love how we'll talk about it later about D.L. Hughley and all these people saying it's not an assassination. He wasn't a political figure. Really? He wasn't in the top 2 reasons why Donald Trump won, especially with the young vote, with what he was doing in colleges. Give me a break. And I love that you pointed it out. This country is freaking the greatest country in the history of the world, and we still have to let people like this say what they're going to say. No consequences. Just speak your mind. But the lack of empathy, the lack of caring that, bro, the guy was shot in the neck and bled out with his wife and his children in the area. Okay, and then this is the rhetoric. And let's be honest. You guys know what he stood for, Pat. We knew Charlie. Okay, what would he do? First and foremost, he fought for his faith, for Jesus Christ. Unapologetic. He didn't water it down because of freaking culture. He brought the Bible into politics, and he started waking up the youth. He went hard on being pro-life. He believed America is worth saving, and he empowered the next generation. And that's what he gets. He gets shot in the freaking neck, and then you have losers like this, Ilhan Omar, who hates America. They hate America. They hate anybody speaking up for America to try to save it. This is the other side that we always talk about. The people that hate this place, that want to destroy it. And I'm sorry. As much as I call these people evil and all this stuff, they're not going to win. They're not going to win because God's light is too bright, period.
I agree. Tom, your thoughts?
So, well, as I've said, and it bothers me, the price of free speech is free speech. It doesn't bother me having free speech. It bothers me at these moments because you have 3 types of liberals that are out there right now. Those that are saying what they think in broad daylight, and it's exactly what they think, like Omar, who does not, she has such a voting block there, she does not have to worry about re-election, she only has to worry about criticism. And so she's going to go out and go hard on this as she did. Then you have the liberals that are posturing a bit and being very careful because they know it's an extremely dangerous situation. And if they say something, they wave the flag and they let you know how they feel, but they're being super careful about it. And then the last group is ones that are hiding or not saying anything. But that's the liberals. But the price of free speech is free speech. And this is what the founding fathers didn't want the government to suppress one way or the other. But it can anger you, and there can be consequences, big consequences.
I want to ask you a question, Tom. I want to ask you a question.
This is also a person that chose the
while
incestuous
yesterday
path
this
to
was taking
citizenship.
place, if you at all at this point are feeling angry and you relate to guys like Vinny, when we call Vinny, or Tom calls Vinny the angry patriot, and that stuck since that day till today, and you're in that community as well, you may want to go to vtmerch.com and place an order on Angry Patriot. We're going to put the link below, Rob, on the Angry Patriot, the hats, the shirts. There's a bunch of gear there. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.